In the rolling hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd boy tended his father's sheep. His name was David. He was the youngest of Jesse's sons. David spent his days under the open sky, guarding his flock. He knew the sheep by name and protected them from danger. He was a simple shepherd boy, but God saw something special in him. David's life was quiet and humble. He learned to depend on God's strength. He developed a heart of faithfulness and obedience. Little did he know that God was preparing him for a greater purpose, a destiny far beyond the fields of Bethlehem. One day the prophet Samuel arrived in Bethlehem. The town was bustling with activity as people went about their daily lives, unaware of the significant event that was about to unfold. Samuel, a revered figure, was known for his deep connection with God and his role as a judge and prophet in Israel. His arrival in Bethlehem was not just a casual visit, it was a mission ordained by God himself. God had given him a special task. This task was of utmost importance, one that would shape the future of the nation. Samuel was to anoint the next king of Israel, a leader who would guide the people according to God's will. The weight of this responsibility was immense, but Samuel was determined to fulfill God's command with unwavering faith. He was to anoint the next king of Israel. This was not a decision to be taken lightly, as the king would be the shepherd of God's chosen people. Samuel carried with him a flask of oil, a symbol of God's blessing and anointing. The oil represented the divine approval and empowerment that would be bestowed upon the chosen one. Jesse presented his sons to Samuel one by one. Each son stood before the prophet, hoping to be the one chosen by God. They were strong, handsome, and capable young men, each with their own unique qualities. Jesse, their father, was proud of his sons and believed that one of them would surely be the next king. The prophet was impressed by their appearance. They were tall, strong, and had the bearing of leaders. Samuel, like any human, was naturally drawn to their physical attributes. He thought to himself that surely one of these fine young men must be the chosen one, but God told Samuel, "Do not look at his appearance or his physical stature, for the Lord does not see as man sees." God reminded Samuel that his criteria for choosing a leader were different from human standards. It was not about outward appearances or physical strength, but about the heart and character of the individual. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. While humans are often swayed by what they see on the outside, God looks deeper. He sees the true nature of a person, their intentions, and their faithfulness. This divine perspective was crucial in making the right choice for the future king. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. This profound truth was a reminder that God's ways are higher than our ways. It was a call to look beyond the surface and to seek the qualities that truly matter in a leader: integrity, humility, and a heart aligned with God's will. Samuel asked, "Are these all your sons?" He sensed that there was more to the story, that perhaps the chosen one was not among those who had been presented. His question was driven by a divine prompting, a feeling that God's chosen king was still out there. Jesse replied, "There is still the youngest, but he is tending the sheep." David, the youngest son, was out in the fields, faithfully caring for the family's flock. He was not considered important enough to be called to the initial gathering, but God had different plans for him. Samuel insisted, "Send for him. We will not sit down until he arrives." There was a sense of urgency in Samuel's voice. He knew that the task at hand could not be completed until all of Jesse's sons were present. The prophet's insistence highlighted the importance of obedience to God's direction. David was called from the fields. As he made his way towards the village, he had no idea that his life was about to change forever. The young shepherd, who had spent his days in solitude with his sheep, was about to be thrust into a role of great significance. He came before Samuel, unaware of the divine purpose that awaited him. David stood humbly before the prophet, his heart pure and his spirit ready. Little did he know that he was about to be anointed as the future king of Israel, chosen by God for a destiny that would impact generations to come. David's humble beginnings as a shepherd were precisely what made him God's choice, a testament to how God values humility and a heart devoted to him. David's brothers were older and stronger. They were skilled in warfare. They seemed like the obvious choices for king. They stood tall and confident. David, the youngest, seemed insignificant in comparison. He was just a shepherd boy. But God saw something different. God looked beyond David's outward appearance. He saw David's humble heart, his trust in God, and his willingness to obey. These were the qualities that God valued most. God doesn't choose based on human standards. He sees the potential within each of us. He chooses those who are humble and faithful. David spent his days caring for sheep. This taught him responsibility and compassion. He also spent time alone with God. Under the starlit sky, he played his harp and sang songs of praise. His heart overflowed with love for the Lord. David's faith wasn't just words, it was a living, breathing part of him. He trusted God completely. He knew that even when he faced giants, God was with him. This unwavering faith set David apart. It prepared him for the challenges he would face as king. Section 5. Facing the Giant, Claiming Victory. The story of David and Goliath is well known. It is a tale that has transcended generations, cultures, and religions, becoming a universal symbol of overcoming insurmountable odds. This ancient narrative is not just a story of a young shepherd boy defeating a giant warrior, it is a testament to the power of faith, courage, and divine intervention. Goliath, a giant of a man, challenged the Israelites. Standing over 9 feet tall, clad in heavy armor and wielding a massive spear, he was a formidable opponent. His presence alone struck fear into the hearts of the Israelite soldiers, who saw no way to defeat such a colossal adversary. David, armed with only a slingshot and stones, volunteered to fight him. Despite his youth and lack of experience in battle, David's confidence was unwavering. He did not rely on physical strength or conventional weapons. Instead, he placed his trust in God, believing that divine power would guide his hand. When others doubted, David trusted God. His brothers and the other soldiers saw only a boy with no chance of victory, but David saw an opportunity to demonstrate his faith. He knew that with God's help, he could achieve the impossible. He said, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." 1 Samuel 17:37. David's past experiences of divine deliverance gave him the courage to face Goliath. He remembered how God had protected him while he tended his sheep, and he believed that the same God would protect him now. David's victory over Goliath revealed his courage. With a single stone, he struck down the giant, proving that faith and determination can overcome even the greatest of challenges. This victory was not just a personal triumph for David, it was a moment of inspiration for all who witnessed it. It also showed the power of faith in God. David's unwavering belief in divine support was the key to his success. His story reminds us that faith can move mountains and that with God's help, we can overcome any obstacle. God gives strength to the weak and empowers the humble. Just as he did for David, God provides us with the courage and strength we need to face our own giants. Whether our challenges are physical, emotional, or spiritual, we can find solace in knowing that we are not alone. He is always with us, even when we face giants in our own lives. The story of David and Goliath serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how daunting our challenges may seem, with faith, courage, and divine support, we can claim victory over them. Section 6. Patience and Trust in God's Timing. After being anointed by Samuel, David's life wasn't easy. The anointing was a divine promise, but it didn't come with an immediate fulfillment. David had to endure many trials and tribulations before he could see the promise come to fruition. He faced jealousy and opposition. His brothers doubted him and the people around him questioned his capabilities. Despite being chosen by God, David's path was fraught with challenges. King Saul, consumed by pride, saw David as a threat. Saul's jealousy turned into a relentless pursuit, making David's life even more difficult. The king's paranoia and fear of losing his throne drove him to extreme measures. David had to flee for his life. He became a fugitive, constantly on the run, hiding in caves and forests. His life was in constant danger, and he had to rely on his wits and faith to survive. Even though he was chosen to be king, he had to wait on God's timing. This period of waiting was not wasted, it was a time of preparation. David learned valuable lessons in leadership, humility, and reliance on God. Through it all, David remained faithful. He continued to seek God's guidance and maintained his integrity. His faith was his anchor, keeping him grounded amidst the storms of life. He trusted God's plan, even when it was difficult. David's unwavering trust in God's timing is a testament to his deep faith. He believed that God's plans were perfect, even when he couldn't see the bigger picture. He refused to take revenge on Saul. Despite having multiple opportunities to kill Saul and claim the throne, David chose to spare his life. He understood that taking matters into his own hands would not honor God. He knew that vengeance belonged to God. David's restraint and patience were a reflection of his deep trust in God's justice. He believed that God would fulfill his promises in his own time. David's patience and trust in God's timing are an inspiration to us all. His story teaches us the importance of waiting on God and trusting His plans, even when the path is difficult and uncertain. God's plans are perfect, even when we don't understand them. Just as David's journey was filled with trials and triumphs, our own lives are a tapestry of experiences that shape us according to God's perfect will. Section 7, From Shepherd's Staff to King's Scepter. After Saul's death, David became king of Israel. He led with wisdom and courage. He united the tribes and expanded the kingdom. He remained humble throughout his reign, always remembering that his true king was God. David's journey from shepherd to king is a testament to God's faithfulness. God sees our hearts, not our outward appearances. He chooses the humble and the faithful to do great things. Section 8, A Legacy of Faith and Courage. David's life is a story of faith, courage, and obedience. He faced giants, overcame adversity, and led with wisdom and compassion. He made mistakes, but he always turned back to God. He is remembered as a man after God's own heart. David's story inspires us to live with courage and to trust in God's plan. It reminds us that God can use anyone, even the least likely, to accomplish great things. We just need to be willing to follow where He leads. Section 9, Chosen for Greatness. The story of David reminds us that greatness isn't about our own strength or abilities. It's about surrendering to God's plan and allowing Him to work through us. God sees the potential in each of us. He calls us to live lives of faith, courage, and obedience. We may not all be called to be kings or queens, but we are all called to be great in God's eyes. Embrace the journey. Trust the shepherd who became a king. He knows the way.